Hello sewers. Today I thought I'd show you how I put my binding on completely by machine, because some of you are a bit confused. So this is the back of my quilt here, and I've got my scissors and my awl pointing to where I have machine stitched this binding to the back, not the front, which is what I used to do, and I use my walking foot, which is on my machine. And then what I do is I just flip it round, and I'm not doing a straight stitch on the front the same as I've done on the back. It's a 2.5 inch strip, which is useful because I have a lot of them, and in this case it's a mixture of lots of pieces of 2.5 inch strips, so it's a scrappy binding. So once I've got it on the back, I just pull it round to the front, and then with my walking foot on the edge of the binding, the same as when it was on the edge of the quilt when I put it on, I can use my zigzag stitch to make sure that that's enclosed. And by using a zigzag, I don't have to worry about whether I keep a straight stitch. I just make sure that the middle of my foot here, I've got the edge of my binding just past that, and the side of my foot I try and keep it along the side of the binding. And that way, as I go along and I'm holding this here, if it gets a bit tight because I've got joins, I use my awl or at the corner. And if I show you on a bright colour, you can see here's the red, this is the back, and it sits on the binding at the back because I've used 2.5 and folded it over in half. And I'm using my walking foot at the same distance that I had it from the edge here when I sewed it, and I'm sewing it again from that edge with the zigzag. So mostly it sits in there. Sometimes I pop out a little bit because I've got joins and things are a bit tighter, but it actually works quite well. And then I just tuck things in as I go. I'll usually have a couple of clips on, and away I go. And sometimes it's a little bit thicker and sometimes a little bit thinner, and that can be because the fabrics I'm using, although they're batik, sometimes some will still be a little bit softer than others, or I might have a really thick seam under here where I've got lots of joins. But this way I can get the binding done quickly, and not only that, but I'm still using up more of my scraps. So you can see there where I've been doing the zigzag. I'll put it over near the needle, that should be in view, and it looks quite good. Just pick a colour that doesn't really matter. On my quilting I used a cream, and I've just picked a sort of a gold colour because I've got lots and lots of colours there. If I was using black binding, I would use black cotton. And if I had like the same colour pale, I would just use something that blended. So I hope that helps some of you figure out how you're going to get your binding on by machine. And I'll see you on Wednesday in class. Bye.